Hello teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back. I missed you for a video there, sorry about that. I woke up yesterday morning and could not handle dealing with one of her mukbangs on that particular day. She didn't say anything particularly important in it, she didn't reference anything else, she just drove and ate a giant orange and drove back. And I was just like, yeah, I can't today, thank you. But we're back, I'm feeling a little bit better. She does touch on a few points in this video that I did want to talk about. I've watched about 10 or 15 minutes of it at this point. Then I got to like the beginning of the story and I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to handle watching all of this more than once if I can completely be completely honest with you guys. Obviously I have to edit this after, but I was like, let's minimize this and just turn the camera on, shall we? So here we are. She's got a shit ton of McDonald's. I have the Munchies McDonald's mukbang. So we're going to just have a look at this and let's get into it.
Oh my god, this lighting is horrible.
Yeah, it is.
My eyes look like two shadows.
This is actually a general annoyance. She still hasn't gone back to get the ring light, you guys. I mean, at this point, this is her job, so either go back and get the ring light or finally let go of BB and just buy a new ring light. They're not expensive. The one she's bought, I'm sure we've seen a picture before, it's basically like the one I have here. It's just a little one plugged in on a stand. It's not a big deal. It's just to help a little bit so you don't get the dark shadows. She could get that very cheap. There's no reason to keep holding on. She wastes enough money, as is shown by this enormous amount of food she's about to put in. She could just go get another ring light. Like, go do that. And in the meantime, she's got very vampy makeup on right now. She's got very dark, the big eyelashes, the red lip. And unfortunately, because the lighting isn't that great, rather than showing a lovely dramatic contrast, which is what I think she's going for, it's just coming up very harshly on the lines of her chin, the line she has in her eyes that goes up here, the lines on her face. It's not making for the best look here, and she could look better. So I think she needs better lighting, but she also needs just to soften up her look a little bit to help her, because, you know, she's getting a little bit older, she's got lines in her face, I've got the same thing. I love makeup, I love wearing a lot of makeup, I get where she's coming from, but she could help herself here.
Hey guys, hey, how are you? How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay guys, I have the munchies bad, okay, and
Are you high?
I
think
need
you're
to
high.
dig in here because
Actually, I don't know why I'm saying that. I know she's high, she admits to it in a little bit, which is it's one of the things that made me maybe react to this. Going back on the edibles is such a bad idea, you guys. I mean, lots of people have a problem controlling their appetite while taking edibles. If she's gone back to the doctor and she's taking her antidepressants, then surely she doesn't need the edibles in conjunction with those. The medication should be helping her. So I'm very concerned about the fact that she's self-medicating with these. I know it's legal, but in contribution, what am I saying? In conjunction with the prescription medication she's on. I don't take marijuana, I've never done it. So if you have done that combination before, I haven't researched it, but if you know anything about how that interacts, please let me know down below, because I can't imagine it'd be a good thing.
all I had today was a bowl of cereal with some berries. I'm hungry. I have the munchies. Let's get to.
That was another thing that made me want to react to this. It was interesting that she said she'd had cereal and a bowl of berries for her breakfast. And I realize it doesn't sound very interesting, but here's why. Because it shows, as bizarre as this is, that she weirdly hasn't given up with the weight loss. Because that's her health breakfast, cereal and berries. It's what she eats when she wants to be healthy. So the fact that she's still doing it, also the way she's phrasing this, saying, oh, well, I just had a bowl of cereal and berries this morning and now I'm really hungry. She gets up mid-afternoon. She's confirmed this many a time. So what time did you have those berries and cereal? Like, how long has it been? But I've said before, she really shoots herself in the foot, whether she's trying or not at this point, when she lets herself get hungry. She doesn't eat at the times she's supposed to eat. She doesn't eat the correct kind of food she should eat. And then she gets hungry and she binges on this. And the edibles are not going to help her with this decision-making process. It's not going to make her more in control of herself. The point of them is the exact opposite. So I don't think it's been all that long. I think we're probably in early evening now, like a few hours later, and she just made a terrible choice.
So I have here McDonald's, best munchie food, and I'm going to set this up here like a mukbang and put some effort into my setup here.
Put some effort into my setup, but I don't have my ring light. It still looks like a prison cell behind me, despite the fact that I said I was going to set up a filming area and I bought a table and the 2 chairs are made. And someone in the comments asked me, like, said, I think it's because of the chairs, they never finished making them. I bet they've never finished making them, but they have shown 2 chairs as being made already. So there's no reason for her not to be set up nicely, you know? Even if this is the table, she could have done this. She just ordered those boho mirrors that she put in a random corner of her room. She could have set up just something nicely behind her and gotten her ring light, and she hasn't. So when she says she's making an effort, nah, she's justifying having it. She's not making an effort.
I won't be as good as Nikocado, but
It's not something to aim for.
Who is really? Who is?
Thankfully, not many.
When it comes to fast food setup,
I do have a question. If she's so worried about this being set up, why not set it up before she puts the camera on? Say hello, and then say, we're having McDonald's today, show the bag, and then just cut to it all set up nicely. Like, that would be a better idea, surely. In terms of effort.
not too many people, I gotta say. So, alright guys.
How much stuff should bring
Just give
out?
me a minute here.
Give me a minute, cut the
The
camera.
nuggets keep escaping my view. Maybe I should put them like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, okay?
She's so cute and quirky. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, she's playing for cute here, and it's not coming off as cute.
But whoa, look at this burger. It's kind of a pain in the ass to do it. All right. Now we need ketchup. Oh, don't forget the dip sauce.
Of course not.
I think Nick should teach a lesson to mukbangers how
Please
to
don't
set
do
up
that. Please don't do
a
that.
mukbang display.
I mean, is it the kind of thing that requires a lesson as well? Like, you pile shit in front of a camera.
This is your brain on drugs, kids.
Yeah.
And Diet Coke. Okay, and alright, so
Just so we all know, if I go in here, I did work this out because you know I always do. For this meal, if you go on to McDonald's Canada, they have their nutritional calculator, and because I know you guys like to see it, this is what we came up with. So I couldn't add the sauces, for some reason they weren't in the calculator, and she does add her own ketchup later on in this video as well. But for the 3 double cheeseburgers, the chicken nuggets, and the large fry, it comes to 2,060 calories, 103 grams of fat, and nearly 4,000 milligrams of sodium. So that all sounds like it's going to be wonderful for her. I did check their nutritional PDF and it said the sauces were about 50 calories each, between 50 and 70. So for the couple of those she pulled out, maybe another 100 calories plus whatever she added. But yeah, it's not ideal.
let's dig in. Okay, I need ketchup.
Despite the fact she's got 2 open
I
sauces.
just did some weird faces for the thumbnail, so you're probably gonna see that and be like, what's with the thumbnail? Don't ask, okay? Don't ask. Oh, okay. Let's give you some McDonald's fries. Let's give you a beauty bun, I guess.
I guess. She's obviously very excited. I mean, she does like the food, but...
I almost went to the door. I'm wearing no pants.
I did not need to know that.
I'm in my undies.
Why would you go to the point of telling me that? I mean, I know, for the feeders is the answer, but you're sitting at a table, you've obviously hidden it. You don't need to share.
Almost went to the door like this to get the food. And then I'm like, I better let Keats get this one.
Beautiful. Also, poor Pete's having to watch you walk around in your underwear.
Chicken nugget.
Like, have some dignity, woman.
So what?
I know they were together. I know we've seen it before, but that's a bit weird.
Large fry, 6-piece nugget, 3 double cheeseburgers, 2 barbecue dip sauce.
The yellow tone to her eyeshadow is also not doing her any favors. I think a different undertone would have been a lot nicer for her.
Delicious.
Why did she go all the way up to her eyebrow?
Yeah, bye. Floppy bun. I dip my cheeseburgers in ketchup.
I do that sometimes.
Because why not?
In as much as I eat cheeseburgers that often.
Normally I dip everything in Big Mac sauce, but I was just like craving ketchup.
Oh, I'm glad she didn't get the Big Mac sauce because it always just, because she always dips Big Macs in it, there's already a lot of sauce on them and it's just gross. But two, I'm just glad she doesn't have ranch. Ranch is the one for me. I think because I don't like ranch, it just is that much more disgusting, but I'm like,
Nothing new going on here. I'm kind of depressed because...
no. We know why she's kind of depressed. She's kind of depressed because she's failed in her diet again. And like I said, she had her health breakfast this morning, so this is going to be another failed day. Just because she's not putting it online doesn't mean she's not still going through her own cycle. So her depression is 100% controllable by her. And she doesn't get to come on here eating all this crap and then say, oh, well, I'm depressed. Your depression is situational. Change your situation. She does see, sorry, I'm still going on. She does see depression as kind of the excuse for what she does, but she's never really realized that it's completely valid to say I have depression, but it doesn't excuse you from doing something about it. Having acknowledged it, having spoken to a doctor and got medication for it, it's now up to you to take steps to help yourself. And she never really gets to that last part. She always just takes it as, well, I have depression, so I'm not doing this. You're like, well, no, you have depression, so you should do these things.
I'm trying to move on with my life, okay?
You're doing a bang-up job so far.
And guess what this is?
Diet Coke, because she just told us. That's the thing with her being high, she doesn't remember.
Already know.
Yeah, you told us.
I just, oh, sorry, I keep interrupting myself. I got 400 of these babies from Amazon, so.
But no ring light.
Alright, so, to fluff up my hair a bit. So.
See how she's just constantly distracting? Like, one, her brain is not braining very well at the minute, but two, like, she said something uncomfortable, I'm so depressed, and now she'll be distracted by everything around her until she can move on from that because she's not feeling comfortable talking about it. We've talked about that before, but you see it here again.
Okay. Why I really don't want to get back into dating and just move on, besides just not being ready, is it's depressing, like...
I bet it is. This is one thing as well, I will just say. She's just come out, but she's coming out and recovering from a long-term relationship breaking up. And that's a valid thing, and especially at her age, with her body being the way it is, because I'm not saying you can't look like her and have a loving relationship. That's not where I'm going with this. I'm saying that she's not happy with her body. As much as she loses her temper and says, I should be able to look the way I want, The point of that is being happy within yourself, and she's clearly not. And that's so hard to deal with. And it must be quite intimidating to think I'm not happy or confident with where I am, and now I've got to jump back into this. It's a tough place to be in, you know?
Getting back in the dating scene, and the dating scene in 2020 is online, right?
Mm-hmm.
And online dating is so depressing to me.
Didn't she meet BB through online dating? She went through Plenty of Fish, wasn't it? I'm sure she's told that story before. Like, I mean, yes, it was 8 years ago. Her relationship was like 8 years, but she met BB through that. Oh, I should have made 2 cups of coffee, guys.
Just interacting with the male species via internet.
The male species, the male gender, we're the same species, dude.
I did meet BB online, but
Yeah.
that was like, what are the odds, you know? Well, it can happen that you meet somebody, but that's not the problem. The problem is all of the
Weirdos?
ones you're not interested in, the big turnoffs, you have to get through first, you know? Like some of the creeps.
There are a lot of creeps online, let's be fair. But also, it does depend where you go looking for them, you know? There's going to be a lot of them. Can I take a moment for this as well? She is incredibly judgmental of the people online, and I find it quite fascinating. Because for all she touts body positivity and how you shouldn't judge her for her weight, and I don't, I judge her for her personality because she's an awful person. But, you know, it doesn't help her to judge her by her personality because she hasn't got a great one. But she is very judgmental of men. And she's said before, I can't remember what video it was, but she's outright said before she wouldn't date a fat man. She finds attractive what she finds attractive, and she wouldn't date them. So all the exceptions she expects for herself, she will not give to someone else. So that argument of, you know, well, he was a creep, he did this, he did that. Or the argument of you should be able to look past my appearance and appreciate me for me, which I don't appreciate the person she is, I don't think, all the time. I sympathize sometimes, but I don't necessarily appreciate her personality. She doesn't show the best of herself online. She might be different in real life, I'm going to give her that, because we only see a small portion online, but what she presents online does not show her in the best light. But she's not willing to consider anyone who might say understand her situation because maybe they have had issues controlling their own weight. The people who are most likely to say, I 100% agree with you and I want to get to know you before I judge you on your appearance, she's not willing to give the time of day to, and I find that very interesting.
You find online, I'm eating till I'm full, and since I'm baked, I don't know when that will be.
At the end of the food, I'm guessing. But again, that mentality, I'm eating till I'm full because that's what apparently she thinks is healthy. Actually, eating till you're satisfied and not till you're full is the aim, to be like, I have eaten enough food before you get super full. So again, this justification of this supposedly healthy thing while slamming 3 burgers is indicative of where she is mentally.
Calm down, it's legal. That's my defense.
It being legal doesn't mean it's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
And how's it doing in combination with your prescription medication?
So, I didn't tell you guys this, but it's nothing to gloat about.
So I'm going to tell you now.
Alright.
It's very unlikely this story is going to be true. Let's go to any TMI story she tells, and all of her interactions with any guy tend to be TMI because she makes this shit up. The reason she's so... Oh, that was a terrible freeze frame. I've just looked down. She's like... the reason she's so slow when she tells these stories is because she's making it up as she goes along. At best, she has a nugget of truth stuffed under there that she's expanded, but it's never actually 100% true. So this is where I start cutting shit.
One day I was bored, and I decided, why don't I just have a look-see? Just a look-see. And where did I decide to have a look-see? I mean, just looking at like personal ads.
Mm.
Craigslist, of all places. Now, you guys never told me about this. Or maybe you did, but I forgot.
We never told you about it?
I
Okay, the Craigslist thing. Craigslist is massive in America and apparently Canada. It didn't, in the UK at least, I've heard of it through like American sites, but I don't know if it made it to the UK or if I just know of it through kind of social media and people talking about it. It didn't make it into the vernacular the same way it did in America. It wasn't as big. We have like Gumtree and some other things that serve the same purpose. So I had to go and look up Craigslist personal ads. And the second result when you Google Craigslist personal ads is a Washington Post article saying goodbye to them, dated 2018. So this story, if it is in fact true, which, not just a grain of salt, a whole pillar of salt for that, is years out of date. Hi guys, so little editing note. I was copying over my files from my phone onto my computer so I could edit, and I went and checked Chantal's video, and pinned at the top of the video was a comment saying all of those saying that Craigslist doesn't do personal ads, Google Craigslist personals Montreal. And I did that, and there was no personals listing. But if you go about halfway down the Google page, there was a link for a place called Do You Like, and another one for, what's this called? Loveawake.com, which wouldn't allow me to open it, but that might be locational. I haven't got my VPN on right now. So it seems like there's an equivalent kind of setup through other pages, but when I clicked onto Craigslist, I couldn't see the personal one. Could have been me being all effed up with Craigslist, but I'm either she's been searching out through another site, in which case she made such a big deal about it being on Craigslist, I don't understand, or maybe I've just missed the listing. I'm not sure, but I kind of stand by what I said in the video, quite frankly. I think this is an old story, and if I'm wrong, but there we go. And would also place her directly in the middle of her relationship with BB if it was at all near the end of that. So either she was doing this search when she was on the hunt for BB, and this story is a decade old, or she was doing this search while with BB, which doesn't paint her in the best of lights, let's face it. Because her relationship with BB was like, what, 8 years? I'm pretty sure it was 8 years. So this is not, she makes it sound like I broke up with BB and one night I thought I'd just go and check, and that is not what's going on here at all.
It's been a long time since I've used online dating, okay? So, like, the last time was, like, 2010 or 11, okay?
So that would have been basing 8 years for the relationship. Sorry, my hair. 8 years for the relationship, and they broke up this year. So she's been with BB since 2012. So we're talking the last time she apparently used this being pre-BB, how she found BB, I'm guessing. And so this search was at some point during their relationship. Nice.
I don't even know how it works anymore. Like,
It works the same way it ever worked.
Plenty of Fish is still around.
Yeah, it was Plenty of
There's
Fish.
like, what is it called? Grindr, Tinder. There's all these apps.
I've never used Grindr or Tinder, but I'm pretty sure, isn't Grindr for gay men? Or gay people? Am I wrong? Or does it have multiple facets? I was under the impression that Tinder was hetero and Grindr was not. But as I said, I've never used either, so it may have expanded since.
Apps, you know?
I don't understand what's confusing about going from personal ads on a
like,
website to an app. Like, it just
Use
changed.
Uber Eats to, like, order food. You can go on, like, Tinder or Grindr and order ass at, like, 2 in the morning.
Okay, so you do understand it then. It's not complicated, it's hookups, I guess. Yeah, like, she's confused for what?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that, like, Tinder and Grindr are, like, huge meat markets. Like, you go there if you want to hook up.
I mean, that's
Not funny.
how I understand
Well-
it. I mean, I'm sure there are exceptions to that rule, but that's as much as I understand it.
From what I discovered when I went on Craigslist,
2, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
it's like, even for me, you know, I was like, what the? First of all, you go on the personals. I don't even know if I selected a city. I just like went on there. There's like, they're talking in code, so it's like MFM, so I guess that's like male for male.
Hasn't that always been the case though? Like even when it was sort of print newspapers, it used to be, there was always a section like in the back of a printed newspaper, and because you had to pay per word or letter or whatever, it's like text speed back when SMSs just first started being a thing and you had to pay for length. It was the same kind of idea, wasn't it?
Female for male, you know, I clicked on one, had like a little picture camera icon beside it, and I'm like, what is that, man? Didn't clue in until I clicked. I open it and downloads of really close up, like I could see your like shave bumps. Badge right in my face, like, oh, click that.
That's not necessarily a surprise on that kind of site, but it's not necessarily what I want to see when I click on a picture either.
Badge. Whoa. Okay. Need a big hard dick tonight or something like that. Okay. So,
All right.
that's cool.
So you know what you're getting into now then.
I don't know. And then that's the shitty part about not being in a relationship. When you're craving, you know, when you're in the mood, you have to think of the, you know, the boner in your drawer right beside your bed, and you're just like depressed about it sometimes. Like,
I'm not judging anyone for using a sex toy, but that was an image I didn't need of her. I'm not gonna lie. But I do think if she's horny and she's lonely, like I'm not judging her for any hookup she may want to have. It is her body and you can fuck whoever you want to fuck. But I do think she is perhaps looking in the wrong place if lonely is the issue. Because I don't think that kind of hookup is going to help her mentally at all. I think it's just kind of going to make it worse.
so I looked and like maybe I could just have like casual hookup. I could try it.
Okay. I mean, I don't think it'll help, but she could.
Plus, be more lover story times, right?
Lucky us. I mean, to be fair, it being real or not has never stopped you before, so...
I'm browsing through, and my eyes just automatically scan for anything that says BBW. It's just easier. As a fat girl, it's just easier, okay?
That's fair. I mean, you don't want to be in a situation where you're advertising yourself and they either meet you or see your picture and then are like, nah. I mean, that's setting you up for a quite bad mental space, I think, better to be honest. And I've got to say as well, I have seen her catfishing pictures on like Insta, and when she has, or way back, she has a video saying I was a catfish. So she's been working the angles on a selfie for a while, yeah? And when you see her in these very close shot pictures, angled correctly so that her chins are not as obvious, and just, you know, doing all the tricks people do in selfies, she looks like a perfectly nice, perfectly normal, chubby girl. Yeah? Because this is not showing her to her best advantage, but she's aged a lot in the last year. She's aged a lot in the last 6 months even, but the last year have not been particularly kind to her health, and it's shown in her face a little. But she can take a decent photo. She's not, she certainly wasn't then at the very least, an ugly woman. Like when she's doing the selfie and doing the thing, she looks nice. You know, and I'm betting she had some decent catfishing pictures there. I've seen some pictures where she looks fine. So I do think it's a bit older. I think she'd struggle more now because her health issues are taking more of a toll on her body. But for whenever this story was supposedly set, which is not now, I can bet she had some perfectly lovely photos online.
Not everyone likes fat girls. It's just easier to just, like, you know, rule that out. The person says they like BBW. There you go.
Okay, done.
Best munchies, man.
I think this meal might go a bit beyond munchies, but she only ever uses the word munchies when she's high, so at least you know going in.
So I click on looking for BBW to have some fun with. Sam, I'm trying to do something.
You're not comfortable?
Alright, so, click it. No picture. Call me shallow. You have to be attracted to somebody for something like this, okay?
See, this is what I was saying. Like, she'll go in and say, "Okay, BBW," but she won't consider the male version in response. She's very kind of shallow in that way herself. And I'm not blaming her to an extent of, yes, you have to be attracted to want to get into this, but she is not willing to give anyone else a chance that she would expect them to give her.
I mean,
Like, she's got standards.
this is not a relationship. I don't want to get to know him better or his character. I don't give a shit, you know, I just want the date. So, I need to see what you look like because, you know, I need to be, you know, attracted somewhat. So, no picture. Anyway, we could get to that later, but, so I message back. I'm like, hey, how are you, blah, blah, blah. I saw your ad, something like that. Something generic and stupid. There's a lot of fluff going on too, right? And these online things.
I'm not sure what she means by fluff.
I swear to God, not even 2 minutes later, after I send that email, ding, replies.
Okay.
Like, buddy. So that's kind of a red flag for me. Like, you know, guys, if you want to, like, not seem overly desperate, wait at least maybe like an hour.
Guys, I haven't used this site or app, or I've not done online dating, but if you are trolling for dick late at night on a casual hookup personal ad section, you're already desperate. Yeah, you're already, you see they're judging, wait an hour. They've put an ad up basically being, I want to have sex, come have sex with me, looking for this girl. You're past the point of that. Like, if he responds straight away, it's because he wants to hook up. Like, I can't believe she's sitting here judging how fast he's replying. Like, he put up a thing saying he's looking for a hookup, you agreed. Why would he wait the hour? Is that you playing hard to get now?
To, like, reply back, you know? First thing I read, I noticed there's an image downloading, like, loading.
Oh, that's promising.
Hey, baby. Bam. Just like the badge. Boom. Right in my face. Penis. Although, I think he was using like a high-tech camera. Yeah, one of those cameras, like, it was focused on what was right in front of the camera, which was big bush. Just like a big bush of, like, here we are. And then it was not focused around anything else. Like, so all I see under the pubic hair, like, further down is just like a blob, like a brown blob. Like, that must be his appendage. If there's anything I hate more than anything, the biggest turnoff for me is getting a dick pic. Like,
I do not want an unsolicited dick pic at all. I'm like, who are you fucking kidding me? It is not hot, it's not a turn on, I don't want it. However, I would say she kind of set herself up for that there. To say it's unsolicited at this point would not be entirely true. Now, I think sending a dick pic to anyone shows a weird amount of trust in a stranger, because I've now got pictures of your dick on my phone, you know? But I would say she kind of set herself up for that.
unless I ask you for nudes, don't send them.
I mean, that is fair, I would say. Well, you're 2 seconds into the conversation. Have a sentence first, maybe. But again, I do feel like she walked into this and then was shocked and appalled that she got dick pics. I'm like, dude, this sounds very much like A, what you were searching for, and B, what the site was set up to do.
What's going on in his brain? Like, what planet is he from that he thought that would be attractive, even 2%? Like,
the planet where you're on a hookup site and you've answered his ad, that planet.
I'm sorry, but I don't find your lack of manscaping attractive. I just don't. Like,
but she never judges or is mean to anybody on this page, you guys. She never does that in videos. She's got standards. Oh God, I can't believe she did that.
I was gonna reply like nice bush or something, but then I was just like,
she was gonna reply.
This guy seems weird, seems desperate, seems like a creep, so I'm not gonna reply at all.
Okay.
I had to like block him because he kept sending like pictures of his freaking dick, and I was like,
that's aggravating, but I mean, at this point,
figured out how to get it to focus on it.
You did it to yourself, you
doing,
know? Okay, so men want her so badly, he's sending the dick pics, you know, unwelcomed dick pics, despite the fact that I answered your ad, and so she is blocking him because he's creepy and clearly she's better than that. That's where we are in this story.
Okay, baby. You like how my looks, baby? So, again, using the word baby. Ugh. I don't know, I guess it's less creepy than like my sweet peach or something stupid.
Oof. That does sound cringe.
I don't know. I'm very
Also,
cynical,
it does sound like
okay?
something she's had someone say to
Very
her, which is
cynical.
gross. It's the problem with fetishes, they get cringe. I mean, you've seen in her comments some of the things people put, and you're just like, oh.
I can't help it, you know?
Why are you calling you
So,
fat?
yeah, I ended up having to block this person because...
I was just too attractive and he couldn't resist.
So I just feel like it's hopeless, you know?
I mean, this was years ago, so I guess, especially as physically you're only having more trouble now, I can see how that would feel a little bit hopeless. But again, if you're looking for a loving and fulfilling relationship long term, I think maybe you might be looking in the wrong place.
I just feel like it's hopeless.
I don't think it's hopeless. Like, I can understand if you're not happy with yourself, you struggle, but there are going to be guys out there. Are guys out there for everybody, yeah? So she could find somebody, but she considers anyone who might give her a chance to be beneath her, and that's the problem she's got here.
I just don't want to go through that. I just don't have the energy, so I'm just gonna wait till I do, or until love finds me. Probably won't happen unless one poor Uber Eats guy.
She accosts him at the doorstep.
Turns out to be the love of my life.
Yeah, I mean, I realize this is, you know, she's treating this less seriously, but yeah, if you want to find somebody, it's something you're going to have to pursue, for sure. And she's clearly not comfortable doing that at this moment.
Enough of those poor guys that I'm really glad I didn't go to the tour today. Oh man, yeah, but
The tour?
don't ever go looking for love or anything else
On casual hookup apps. No, it's not really designed for it.
Oh, if you're maybe looking for...
I don't know, you can't get mad that you went looking for sex and couldn't find love. Like, it's not designed for that.
Maybe I was in the wrong section. You know, maybe I was in the... I don't think it matters. There's always a creep in every section.
Oh yeah, for
No.
sure. You're gonna have to wade through a few. I mean, that's the internet. I mean, at this point, she would do better striking up a conversation with one of the sycophants in her comment section, because they have seen her in all her glory and they're still there. So if she's looking for something, like, there's a lot of her life she wouldn't then have to explain because they've seen her channel.
I have trouble with good casual sex because, like, if it's good, I'll be like, I love you. Like the next week, you know?
That sounds awkward and cringe. But to be fair, most of her casual hookup stories are fake, so I don't think she's had that much experience.
This is the best Munchies ever.
Again, I think we're beyond Munchies, but sure. Yeah, I wish she'd bring her camera a bit more forward. This isn't doing her any favors.
My phone.
No. At this point, she is sitting here thinking about the disaster she's had in online casual hookups before, and about the fact that she probably doesn't want to go through that again, and essentially where she is with her relationships. So This may have been triggered by edibles, but the edibles were triggered by that because it causes her anxiety or depression or some combination of both, which is then triggering this. And she's not going to be full for a while. This is emotional eating 101. Oh, she looks quite sad. Look at that. Is she full? And she sat there, she thought about it. And again, like I said, it's emotional eating. Physically, maybe she's eaten quite a lot, but she may be physically full. She's kind of emotionally empty. She's going to keep eating, and that's what that consideration was. And that makes me quite sad for her.
You ever dip your fries in barbecue sauce?
And then she changes the subject.
It's so good.
Of course, people do that. That's one.
Oh, I was
Change the
waiting
subject.
all day for this.
All day. The 3 hours she's been awake. What time's it now? Let's keep eating because I'm still depressed.
I waited until Pete was done work so I could order something for him too. I have these like fake eyelashes on, but they're like
You don't say.
not very prominent.
They're prominent enough. I think the lighting's not helping you here, but having even more coming out is just going to cast a bigger shadow. It's not going to help.
No playing with my hair.
I do all the time. Suck
I
it,
need
haters.
my ring light badly.
Yeah. Order a new one and leave BB alone.
So yeah, times like that I miss BB because I was like, was familiar. I still do have love for him.
The breakup hit her hard, and thinking of having to go out and try and find another relationship, it's no wonder she's thinking back to BB and what was.
Still infatuated, and we're just so comfortable, like, with each other. You know, like to the point like you could fart during sex and it would just be like whatever, you know.
Obviously not whatever, you're broken up, but
Don't listen to me.
don't film it and put it on the internet.
I'm crazy. These.
Sorry, I was gonna say, didn't mean to stop it, but I was gonna say you're more calculated than crazy, but I'm not ruling it out.
McDonald's cheeseburgers and fries. When you have a craving for it.
Better than sex, apparently.
I was thinking of like when I was really craving it, I'm like, humans are so different from animals because like,
Oh god.
just like, you look at elephants, okay? Like we like, okay. A lot of people, some people like to, but a lot of people hate just eating, chowing down on a bunch of greens, you know?
That's a sweeping generalization, and I'm not sure where she's going with it. People don't like eating
That's
greens. No, you don't like it.
A huge bowl of mixed greens.
Where are you going with this? You're wrong, but where are you going with this?
And then it doesn't seem appealing, okay? All the chewing and the bit.
Given the chewing you've had in this video, I think maybe back off from that a little bit.
Greens, I don't know. And then, but look at like elephants.
Okay.
They're like big animals, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like the symbol, like
I'm
people
so
use
confused.
that as like a derogatory term for a fat person. And yet here they eat all day. You see them chowing on leaves from the tree and they're like, yeah, I love this shit. You know, and you're just like, but then I was thinking like, they don't have a choice. They don't have like a friggin' Savannah McDonald's, you know, like.
This is
I wonder what it would
100%
be like,
stone brain. I don't even know
They
what
would
she's
still be
saying
loving their
here.
greens if somebody introduced them to a Big Mac, you know?
You guys, I can't comment on that. I don't understand the point she's making. Elephants are big and they eat greens, but they might eat Big Macs if there were elephant Big Macs. I don't. And?
This is what my mind thinks of all day.
I'm not sure what to tell you, honey.
Dude, I'm like a bottomless pit right now.
Yeah, you're emotionally eating. That's what emotional eating does. It ignores your physical symbols and says, fill this emotional hole. So whether you're physically full or not is completely irrelevant. You're not trying to satiate a physical hunger, you're trying to satiate a mental one. And look, she's not happy. She's actually quite sad here.
This is what my channel should be. Taking
Big
a couple
Macs and
THC
sadness.
pills and eating my munchies.
I mean, that basically is what your channel is, but eating my munchies like it's a snack. Oh, she seems so sad.
Do you hear that?
You having a stroke? I didn't hear that, but it looked like you were having an episode.
We're probably gonna do videos together this weekend. So
This food is not making her happy at all. Doesn't matter how much she eats, she still feels empty.
I guess I'm just gonna stay single.
Keep eating.
I don't know if I'm going on my trip. We're gonna have to see.
Saw that comment. For anyone who didn't see that, she put a comment on one of her previous videos saying, oh, it looks like it might still be cancelled. So even that idea is not with her right
What
now.
COVID is like, we might not even be able to go.
So she doesn't
Because
have that
the
goal
borders are
anymore.
not like open right now for non-essential, so
That's not a shock.
we'll see.
but it does take the pressure off to have an out and be like, oh, it might not be open. It's looking less likely like it will be open. Now, forget the fact that she did say they would get full credit if they ended up having to move it because of COVID. So even if they end up moving it to next summer, that's actually better for her because she hasn't done anything really in the last 6 months to show progress. So it gives her 6 months more. She could still have it as a goal. But with those goalposts being moved a little bit, it's now in her brain kind of not urgent. And she doesn't have it to look forward to or to dread. So it's not having as much of an effect on her cycles and her coming back to eating healthy because it feels like there's less pressure now. If they end up going in February, she's going to have to do some quick thinking for an excuse because there's no way she's going like this. But right now, she's assuming it's going to be cancelled.
I'm full.
Are you going to finish those fries? I mean, you've got about 5 fries left.
There's a few fries left.
She was full a couple of burgers ago. But like I said, it wasn't the reason she was eating.
Oy, oy, oy. So just leaving, I'm gonna leave these fries and
There's 5 fries.
that'll be it. Excuse me. I like making longer videos for you guys because like, I don't know, just like sitting and chilling and talking.
There's a lot of
I
dead
could
space
definitely
in this
make
video.
videos like in this state of mind because you're just like, your mind just like wanders from one topic to another. Might be annoying though for you guys. I don't know. So, do you guys like this setup more? I mean, it's kind of bland in the background. I don't know, like, I don't have a keen eye for, I don't have an eye for decorating. Like
Okay, so don't. Do you think this is my wall? It's a photography background. Just, if you don't want to decorate the way you see some like influencers do everything, you know, the succulent and the geometric and the rose gold and that. Okay, so just buy a photography background. That's what I do.
my decorations are so eclectic and, you know, it's like scattered like my brain. I don't have that like, oh, this one looks so cute, you know, like, I don't know, for example, I always use her, but learning to be fearless, like you look at her house and it's just like everything is so cute, right down from like, you know, things on her stove or the back of her toilet, or you know what I mean? Like I just,
she sets it up.
like the back of my toilet, I have like two rolls of toilet paper and shit spray, like spray for after you go for a poo. What's it called? Air freshener, Febreze, whatever.
I don't watch Learning to Be Fearless, but does she do a lot of videos from the toilet? Let's not give Chantal any ideas.
I admire people who can, you know, like if I ever became rich or something like that, then I would probably hire someone to decorate my house. Like Mr. Kate. You know, all these celebrity people are getting Mr. Kate to decorate. Mr. Kate! Probably cost a lot. But she deserves it because she does such a good job, you know? Hi, Sam!
The cats.
My cat's probably going to jump up here any minute, so I better go.
Yeah, please
I'm
do.
digressing big time. So yeah, my
We've got
eyes
another 5 minutes.
open right now. Hi, Sam. I called it.
You literally
Yeah,
called him
I was
over. What were
bored
you
as
thinking?
well. Imagine being a cat, how boring it would be. Unless you don't know better.
Yeah, I mean, imagine just having a whole life dedicated to sleeping and eating.
I guess like
Going to the
when they're
bathroom.
happy chasing a bottle cap around doesn't take too much to stimulate your small peanut brain. I'm kidding, Sam. You're here to be cute and make me happy.
I mean, at least she's finished eating at this point.
Oh, God. Black hole sun, won't you come?
Oh God, she's just. Oh, why, Chantal? Why?
I'm like one of those like old cabaret singers.
You wish you sounded like that.
Sam. Or lounge singers that are like, I can't sing.
Did she end up going back for that singing appointment? Didn't she make one?
Yeah, I'm pretty full.
Pretty full?
I'm like I'm pretty full.
She's looking for dessert.
Like kind of like not super full though.
Mm.
All right, guys. So
that would be the emotional black hole in you.
thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and listening to me and my concerns about the dating world. It's gonna have to be somebody who's comfortable with being on camera though, because that's gonna be.
I would maybe not set too many limitations right now and just open the door. Just see, open the door and step through it, and then see where it goes. Yeah.
They're gonna be on film. You know? I don't wanna, like, BB was the type of guy who was just like, you know, didn't want to be on camera or whatever. And I respect that. I don't blame him and I understand why, but I just like.
I mean, she's actually right. If she was going to be in a long-term relationship, this is, for all intents and purposes, her job. She would need somebody who was willing to accept that and be incorporated into it, because it's an important, possibly at this point, one of the only important parts of her life.
I want to be able to like do videos with this person and stuff like that, you know, like especially if we're gonna be doing things in life together, traveling, you know.
I feel like she less wants a partner and more wants content.
I don't want it to be all grumpy whenever I'm like, smile, the camera's on. Like, just be comfortable with it, you know? So I gotta look for someone that's like that. I know pieces, but, you know, he's my friend, so. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go watch Dawson's Creek. Or probably edit this video. And then watch Dawson's Creek. Edit this video for you freaks! I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I love you guys.
Don't use your cat voice on
yes.
me. And remember, you said you loved us when you go on your next community rant. I was actually quite surprised she didn't go on a community rant after she posted her first mukbang back, because usually she gets some pretty bad feedback, and I was expecting it, and she didn't. I haven't checked it today, but she didn't.
Starting to talk to you guys like I talk to my cats.
Yeah, don't
That's
do
a good
that.
sign.
It's creepy.
You know, I really do. Like, I really do get happy seeing a lot of the same people in my comments. Just every time I upload.
To be fair, you don't get happy with everyone. You filter those comments like whoa and damn. Go date one of them though.
You know, just like even Ben, Trevonda, Big Love, Marissa, Joe. I haven't seen Joe in a while in my comments. You better watch my videos, Joe.
I thought she paid Joe to be there. That's a bit harsh. You haven't seen Joe in your comments and you pay him.
Or the wedding's off.
He's always the mod, right?
I'm sorry if I'm forgetting you. I know there's so many more Wheezy.
She hasn't actually done a live stream in a while, and I think that would be interesting. She always reveals more than she means to in live streams.
I don't know. I should start doing shout outs. You know, it's nice to like show your appreciation and everything like that.
Between just tantrums.
Anyways, guys, that's it for now. So, I will see you this weekend. And if I don't see you this weekend, if you're busy and you have a life, well, la-dee-da. I will miss you. So, bye, guys. Bye.
Okay then. All right, guys, that's over. That last 3 seconds. This is the thing, she baits a lot of the hate she gets like that. That's gonna be, I guarantee you that's gonna be up on Kiwi Farm somewhere. That's just, and the thing is, yes, she's high, but she also kind of plays with, oh, I was so high, because she edits this after. You know, she makes her choices, put it that way. This was kind of sad. I mean, more so because it was so very obviously emotional eating. It all is to an extent, but yesterday's that I didn't react to, I watched once and I was just like, meh. But here, she's so obviously sad herself. And she's still trying the diet. She's still starting with a healthy breakfast and then just it degenerating quickly. And the trips now, maybe on, maybe off. Yes, a lot of you said, well, she would never go. But she was paying into that trip and it was keeping her coming back to healthy eating even when she did fail. And then with her thinking, I think probably a little bit too closely about the state of her relationships and the rest of her life, that's kind of sending her spiraling. There's a lot of emotional triggers we can see in this video, which I kind of wish she wasn't going through. I wish she could use them as motivation instead of letting them make her kind of fall down into the hole again. But this is one of the reasons she needs to go see a therapist and she needs to work through those issues, and she probably never will. Yes, she's got that appointment for August 11th. We'll see how that goes, but I really wish she'd talk to somebody so that she could move past this. I really do, and she won't. And until then, that thing at the very end when she was like, "Oh, I'm kind of full. I may be full." She's probably going to go look for a dessert. She'll go look to change the flavor, not stop the food, because the hole she's really trying to fill isn't a physical hunger. All right, guys, this has been a really long video. I'll try and cut out some of the dead space, but put your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts down below. I love to see them, and I will see you next time. Please feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.